What's up, everyone? I'm Riley.
And I'm Todd, and welcome to this week's episode of Barber Cuts, where we are talking about Channel Orange by Frank Ocean, 2012. So, a new one that I'm going to let Riley and friend of the
My name's
show.
Kate. I'm gonna be the guest today.
Hello, Kate.
Kate is my roommate and my best
Mhm,
friend, also a fellow music lover, loves Frank Ocean, Channel
mhm.
Orange. So we thought we'd get her on the show um, to talk a little bit more about it and help us out.
I am bringing my Channel Orange attire,
There you go.
Mhm,
my orange
We
hoodie,
go to the University of Tennessee, so that's
mhm.
our Channel Orange.
but neither one of you, ironically enough, have any orange on. So, that is a shame. But here we are.
It happens.
Big Orange Friday, we're usually decked out.
Yeah,
There
so
we
here
go.
here we go. All right. Least favorites. Riley, do you want to give some least favorites?
Um, sure. Um,
Did I catch you off guard? It's not like we
yeah,
hadn't done this for like what, 26 some odd times. You should know what's
listen,
coming.
listen, listen. Um, well, the reason it was difficult is because the song is like, or this album is like some others that we have listened to, where it has some album or songs that aren't really meant to be listened to
Yeah,
on their own. Um, uh, the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon was the other example. So it's like tough. It feels wrong to pick out certain songs as like least favorite because it makes sense
right.
as like a conglomerate. But if I'd have to choose, my least favorites would be the start, um, and probably White with John Mayer. Great
Mm,
instrumental, but it's an
yeah,
instrumental, and
yeah,
I like lyrics. Same with Start. Start makes so much sense with the context of the album, but it's like you're not going to listen to it on its own. It's a cool song. It's a really cool intro to the album. It has like the message alert, it has a chime for a PlayStation startup,
yeah.
and some video game music. So it really sets the scene of it being like a more personal, relatable album, but you're not really gonna listen to it by itself ever. It's
Yep.
meant to be with the album. So,
Yeah. I agree. Start was one of mine. And had some of the, and it is unfortunate because some of these songs are just like their transition songs to something else. But my other least favorite was actually End. So my two least favorites were Start and End. Um,
unfortunate.
but and I get what he was doing. So but again, going back, it feels bad to say these are least favorite songs, but in the concept of the album, we're still picking out certain songs. So it is what it is. Um, Kate, you got least favorites? I mean, I don't necessarily need to or want
Mhm.
to put you on the spot. If
I have a list. I have my notes app typed out.
Oh wow,
I
look
came
at you.
prepared.
A
Look
list
at
of
Okay.
least
you.
favorites.
Look at
A list
you.
of, I have a couple lists. For my
Okay.
least favorites, I almost did start two, but I gave that one a buy for my least two. One of the me and Riley just talked about, not just money, which is a more, it's not like, again, supposed to be listened to on its own, but it was almost like someone was on the phone in a car recording, and it was like recorded in a car, and it had like the turning signal, and it was like
Yeah.
someone's on the phone. And me and Riley were talking about that, like the turning signal just like kept, it would go on and off, and it's like, oh, like it's kind of like a lot to listen to. So that was one of my least favorites. And then I didn't think this song was necessarily bad. I just have a really short attention span, and it was 9 minutes and 53 seconds long. So I put Pyramids. I didn't think it was bad. I just like, I'm not super into like super duper long songs. So I think that's why I also put that one there.
Yep, that makes sense. All right. So favorites? Who wants to go? Riley? Go ahead, go.
This one was also hard because, like Dark Side of the Moon, they all blend together. Like it's a story, so it's hard to pick out like standout ones. I will say I probably am not going to branch out that much from what's popular. Um, one of my favorites was Super Rich Kids, which features Earl Sweatshirt. Um, Very popular song. However, deserves it, in my opinion. The intro immediately like kind of pulls you in. It has like the beat that you can follow. It sounds really nice. Earl Sweatshirt sounds good on this song. It's a good use of a feature. And it's one of those songs that I this is why I thought you might like this album, Daddy. Or Pod. Um, Father Pod, that's what I call you here. Anyway, um I thought you would like this album because you like the songs that sound super happy and melodic and have like these really like harrowing, dark meanings. And that's most of this album. Like you have to take a deep dive to find like kind of what he was talking about. And most of it is not like happy stuff, but you would not think that with
No.
his sound. Um, so Super Rich Kids kind of follows through with the song before that's like not just money and sweet life. He has a portion of this album that's kind of focused on money and expenses and how that changes everything. Um, and so it kind of talks about that throughout, and then it kind of ends with super rich kids, on that idea of money. And it's the one that's the saddest. It's pretty harrowing in the sense of like it's not like a happy song about having money. It's kind of having talking about too much money, super rich kids with nothing but loose ends, kind of ending up feeling hopeless after having all of this stuff. Yet he sings about it as if it's the good times. And they both kind of do. So there's that juxtaposition. It's really nice. Um, so I really liked that song. And then my other favorite was the probably the most well known, um, which is Lost. Again, such a basic choice, but it's such a good song. I listen to this one probably the most on my own. It's actually about like um a drug supplier using his girlfriend as a mule, a drug mule, and she gets lost in that lifestyle. Um and like the gifts and the lifestyle that comes along with it, and his hope for her to move away from that. Um, this one was the fourth single. It it achieved gold. Like it's very popular. And again, another song where listening to it, like you would never think that there's like this much deeper, sad meaning to it all, but it's such a good song. There are so many other good songs, so I feel kind of bad choosing the two like most popular ones, but in my opinion, they're the most popular for a reason.
All right. So I'll go and create a break in the two people that actually know what they're talking about. One of mine was Pink Matter. And so again, I like the switch to Andre 3000 when his verse comes in. So that's really nice. And it's dreamy sounding. And then again for me, there's some bluesy, soulful kind of guitar in there as well, which is from the guitar fan. That's nice when I see that. Um, and which again is why the John Mayer didn't make it on my least favorites. The guitar there saved him. And then the other one that I really liked was and kept going back to it and I'm not sure why, but it's Bad Religion. Like the organs at the beginning, almost like a confessional nature of a song riding in the back of a taxi cab and like no telling the stories those drivers hear. Um, but and but what caught me was, and we've talked about this before, when an artist uses the vocals as another instrument, and to me, that's what he did in this song really, really well. Shifting into that falsetto, but yet then coming out of it, and so that was really nice to see just the range of him going around. as he was singing. So those are my two favorites. Kate, what about you?
My two favorites, one of my repeats with Riley was Super Rich Kids. I love listening. Rap's probably my favorite genre of music. So anything I can kind of work out to, run to give me kind of hype, I'm gonna enjoy that. So Super Rich Kids is my second favorite. And then kind of switch it up from rap. The Sweet Life song was my favorite. I just like the summery beat. I used to listen to it like I want to say one of the high school like summers I was in high school, so it just kind of gave me like a nostalgic feeling too, just like thinking back, hearing back to that song. So those are my two top. And my boyfriend's favorite album. He wanted to pitch in his two favorites are Pink Matter and Lost. This is like his two favorite songs of all time.
Okay. All right. Very good. So pink matter. Woohoo. I guess I'll start by saying we'll shift to watch people go listen to this album. And we can do it a couple ways. I'll start because normally I'll give like stats about it. So it's got those. Named Best Album in 2012 by all kinds of different magazines, all kinds of different publications, nominated for Album of the Year in 2013. And a lot of people will say, if this album doesn't happen, you don't get Blonde, which came later and may have had even more accolades to it. Um, but this one's got all kinds of accolades as well. And so if you are like me and mostly say a rock fan, classic rock fan, why would you go listen to R&B? Um, because this is a great album in a genre you're not used to. So go listen to it, give it a try. Even as we've talked about, like even if it's some of the songs that the favorite songs and where the best beats and bars come in, like go listen to those, even if it's just those few songs, just to get a different perspective because it is quite different. And I'll let y'all probably get into some of those other things, but that would be my first plea to probably maybe some of the people that are my age that have a classic rock bent, go listen to it for those reasons. So Riley, Kate, what do y'all think? Why should people go listen to this song or this album? Sorry.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit more, and Kate, you can help fill in the gaps that I'm sure to have. Um, I think I think additionally, this is a great album in the genre that it's in, and the reason that that's so neat for this album specifically is not only does it introduce like the older people that listen to like the rock, the classic rock, and that type of genre. It kind of reintroduced the popularity of R&B and kind of Marvin Gaye style storytelling. Marvin Gaye was a big inspiration to Frank Ocean in this album. A
Yeah.
lot of it mimics back. There's a part in one song where it's like kind of a call and response, and it's theorized that that's based on the Marvin Gaye Save the Children, which we covered. So go listen to that podcast too. But it was a great reintroduction for like this American R&B storytelling concept album genre that's not that popular or wasn't that popular before Frank Ocean kind of brought it back, and a lot of artists following him started to do it more. I mean, there's Steve Lacy is a big one that a lot of people listen to, Daniel Caesar, Khalid, um, just a bunch for that realm. Same with rap. He inspired a lot of other rappers. One Kendrick Lamar cites him as an inspiration. Plus indie, like he just reaches all of these different genres, and he's highly like people really like him for the fact that he kind of disregarded any popular trends of the time. Like this album is not a great look into what people were listening to at the time. It was very set apart, very different, and he like did not care, pursued that sound, and it blew up and people loved it and wanted more of it. And like you said with Blonde, I would say most people would say Blonde is a better album than Channel Orange. They would consider that his best album, but like you said, we don't get that without Channel Orange. Channel Orange was the first intro to that being like a popular um genre.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say, Kate?
I was gonna add this kind of went to my objective rating too, but like it won the Grammy for the best urban contemporary album. So I was just thinking like objectively, like it's gonna reach a wide audience to get that kind of award. So I was like, I feel like there's so many different ages and genders that could like enjoy this kind of music. So I just kind of like the variety, as you mentioned too, everyone's mentioned, but like that anyone can enjoy at least like one of the songs in the album. Like it can reach out to someone.
Yeah.
Very much
Um,
so.
yeah, the one of the things that I'd found on it or interesting, whenever I find things like this, the Channel Orange, the artwork is known. Like I knew the cover art before I ever listened to a song. I was like, oh, that's an interesting name, and the cover's all orange. But not until I started looking at this did I realize it was named Channel Orange because he suffers what's that synthesia, but a neurological condition, where I guess you see your perception of numbers and letters are colors,
Hmm.
which is crazy to me
It's yeah,
because
synesthesia.
Mhm.
Tennessee, because like that's obviously not me. But hearing people talk about it, um, but supposedly when he was recording all this, orange was a color that he was seeing a lot of at the time. So that's why it's called Channel Orange. And then other musicians, Pharrell Williams, Billie Eilish, Lord, Kanye West, Billy Joel, all have said that they have that same condition and see notes, letters, numbers, as colors, which, you know, in my mind, when I don't have it, is kind of cool. But I don't know if it's kind of cool for people that have it, but it seems like it could lead to a sense of creativity, that I'll never know. But
Yeah. I also want to touch on like from a lyrical standpoint, um, like I said, listening to the albums, you would never kind of realize like everything he's talking about. But his lyrics are very confessional. He doesn't really hold back. The best example I have of that is he kind of alludes and mentions like um a man that he was in love with and all of that. And at the
Mhm.
time, a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, like, is he? Is he not? Like, what does this mean?" And he like had a letter that he wrote that was about the story of him falling in love with a man for the first time, and that's like in one of the CD slips of like he published it and put it in like the CD slips as like a piece, which is just an homage to like how confessional and open he is throughout the lyrics. Um, but I think it's just really interesting. It is considered a concept album because it all flows together. It's kind of back to Marvin Gaye. It's very retrospective of the world that he's in. I mean, Sierra Leone is about having like the process of having a kid and maturing like through that process. Like having a kid as a teenager and growing up. Super rich kids and Sweet Life is all about like having this excess money not being this beautiful thing. Um, Pink Matters about the female mind. Bad Religion is a therapy session essentially. There's also I believe it's Pyramids. That's about like the Pyramids is the really long song.
Mhm.
It's about like the history of Black women becoming queens, where they are like from being queens to being slaves to being degraded to what they are now. Like it's very analytical, like analysis of analytical analysis. That was good English by me. Um, of the world that he was seeing. And I just love it when artists really do that because it is a wonderful snapshot in time of what he was dealing with and what the world was dealing with, which is what I think a lot of the appeal of Marvin Gaye was too. So, like, interesting snapshot of the problems that they were dealing with and how people were feeling about them.
yeah. Um, Kate, you got anything else?
Um, I'm not like a big lyric person, but I do know I had some like interesting facts. And I just like I think
Good.
it's one of the things where it's like an album that like sounds beautiful. I don't know, like it's almost like you can see sound. That's like I heard a lot of people talking about that too. I'm talking about this with Asia. But I also know he like famously released it early to like iTunes to like avoid leaks or like take control of like it. And I kind of think that
Right.
tied into Riley's thing where it's like he puts so much heart and soul and it's like he's gonna be on like on top of it. Like I'm like it's his decision. Like no one else can take it from him. Like he this is how it's gonna release it, this is how it's gonna go.
Yeah. And you know, and admittedly coming in, I didn't know much about Frank Ocean other than just a couple albums and songs. But he how do I say it? Like he really wanted to take care of his music, I guess is a good maybe a good way of saying that. To your point, Kate, like I don't want this to get out early, so I'm gonna you know fake a release date and then release it early. And then putting out the EP, I guess, before Channel Orange, and then keeping that as really off Spotify. So if you want to go listen to that one, which I got down a rabbit hole listening to that one because of the what's the song that basically was Hotel California and then he sang on top of it. But like he kept that one off of Spotify so you don't have to, I guess, pay the royalties or get permission really to use the song. And so just different things like that, but still going to um lyrically, like you're mentioning, Riley, just the things that he talks about are deep, heavy things that he just puts out there and is this is who I am. This is the me telling a story. And again, he came up as a songwriter for others, and then finally he's like, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna try my luck at being the front man. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I
um,
think you also see that a lot now even in him not releasing music. Like he's gone like MIA. Like people don't hear from him that much, which is kind of a controversial thing. People kind of get upset at him for doing that. But since 2019, he really hasn't done anything but little bits here or there, nothing
yeah,
huge.
I mean,
Um,
he's only got the two
he
studio albums, Channel
right,
Orange and Blonde.
yes. Yes, which is another great reason to go listen to this album. Like he made a name for himself in two albums, like
Yeah,
hit overnight success from Channel Orange. He had a relative success with he released some stuff just on his own because the studio wasn't letting him make what he
right.
wanted. And the success they saw from that, they were like, all right, dude, you can do what you want now. And then blew up.
Yeah, because what was the album? It
Um,
was Channel Orange and then um dang, it's whatever the video album is that he put on, I think
oh yeah.
Def Jam Records,
Yes.
and then like the next day released Blonde independently, so he wouldn't have to put it with the like. And again, that goes back to Kate, what we were talking about. Like he really cares for his music. He's like, I don't like. I think he knew. And again, I'm putting myself in his shoes. Like I love this album talking about Blonde. I want it to be released independently so I can have control over it. So I'm gonna release this Endless out. I think it's called Endless album under Def Jam so I can fulfill my contract to them. And then the very next day, here's Blonde, and it's a great album. So just him caring for the music and putting his heart and soul into it. It's like this is I want it to be mine.
Yeah. Which him not releasing any music. So famously, he's MIA. He lost his brother in 2020, and that's why a lot of people speculate that he kind of left. He's like started not doing much end of 2019, and then when that happened, just kind of completely went like disappeared. Like on talk shows and stuff. Kate, you mentioned that him and Tyler, the creator, have some beef, but
Yes.
they in like an interview, Tyler, the creator, was like, I haven't heard from him. Anyone that's friends with him is even like famous that people will ask them, like, have you heard from Frank Ocean? I think Billie Eilish did it too, and all of them were like, no, man, like we haven't heard from him either. He's just doing his own thing right now. And I think in even in that you can see like there's a care for his music. Like he does not want to be forced to release anything or do anything that doesn't have his full attention and focus. And so he's not. And that's really hard to do in today's world. Um, and still remain relevant, I guess. But I think there's something to say that even in his hiatus, hopefully hiatus, like you can still recognize that there's a level of care in his music enough to not release anything.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, what is the Tyler and Frank Ocean?
I just know that he
I
had
thought
been
they were
off the
friends.
they were supposed to be like best friends at some point, I believe. I'm not like I haven't super looked into it, but I know he like on social media, like obviously he's on this hiatus. He did go and unfollow like all of them. Like he unfollowed them, like kind of like it's one thing to not talk to them like in private, but I think just like the public acknowledging of him like removing all of them under like friends, I think took a lot of people like a lot of people have like that do love him also love like Tyler the Creator and all these other artists. So I think like people feel like also like a personal attack to you in the sense where it's like it's one thing to not talk to them in private and be to yourself, but like publicly acknowledging that you don't want to be friends with them. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's so upsetting," but that was
Yeah,
kind of
that makes
the
sense. Yeah, because
issue.
he has a on this album a hidden track on the CD and records, maybe record. I know CDs. That's him and Tyler. It's a Tyler feature. And I knew they did. They have very similar listener
Mm-hmm.
listeners, so they did a lot together or enough together musically that I connect them in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they both came out of what, Odd Future?
I don't know.
Oh, it's best I can tell, it's a hip hop collective where a bunch of people get together. I put it and I may get slammed for this but I put it to something similar to Wu-Tang Clan, where it's a bunch of rappers that come together where they do perform together, but then they also go off and do their own things here and there. Um, and but they were both members of that. So was Earl Sweatshirt. So maybe that's why
Mm.
he's got the relationship on this album. But yeah, they all came out of that and I from LA. So
Interesting.
and
I didn't know that.
Frank Ocean was added into it. Tyler, the creator, was an original member of the group, but they grew, and so I'll have to
Didn't know that.
I'll have to go and see if that is the case, if they are this, if it's a similar setup of what Wu-Tang Clan was, which would have been what I listened to in the 90s,
What do you think? Man, is good.
as may find that strange. So, yeah, it was funny. I guess Wesley, brother, whatever you call him, brother Barber Pod was um I call him Wesley, was home over the weekend, and he was like, I find it funny that you're listening to Frank Ocean.
Yeah, so
So,
I do feel like
there is that.
I do feel like I need to mention um so as great as a bunch of his lyrics are, I did like I was saying a lot that I was excited for you to listen to this album. And then I started listening to the lyrics, and surface level, the lyrics are a little icky at times.
Hmm.
And then I felt very awkward.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do with that. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that like with Frank Ocean, well, in my opinion, with any musician that you can tell takes their music seriously, you can't take any of their songs at surface level. It's like it's an injustice to their music, because their opinions on it go so much more. Well, you can, and this song sounds great surface level, or this album sounds great surface level even as well. But even if like you listen to it at first and you're like, that's a little uncomfy to like listen to or hear like talked about, go look at like the reason that he was writing about it, because it's usually a lot more than what most I guess I'm not coming for rap, but most rappers do talk about that stuff very surface level. He does not. If you
Yeah,
look into like his purpose for using certain things, and imageries and all of that,
yeah,
it's a very interesting, deep hole that you can fall into.
it is. But unless you fall into that hole, it can still come across as what you call it, icky.
Icky. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Don't let it stay icky.
Yeah.
Look a little bit deeper.
All
And
right. So any other notes, fun facts, or anything else? Kate, you got
I found
anything
a
else?
I have one more fun fact I found is that he like
Go for it.
recorded the album all over the world. It's like some songs were like one of the big things was like is like New Orleans to London was a jump. I'm not exactly sure between which songs. Like he just kind of went around like kind of where he wanted to record. So that was kind
And
of cool.
and some of them, what was it? Start that you said he was recording as he went because
Hmm.
he put on his turn signal to make a turn. And
Hmm.
was that the one? No.
It's in I have
no.
it down. That's in Not Just Money, and
Oh,
it's
not
like
just
he's
money. Yeah, there you go.
recording like a car. It's like kind of yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were some oddities, but again, that's also what makes the album unique in its own way. But like we talked about, you're not gonna queue up that song, not just money. You gotta. This is one of those like Pink Floyd, like oftentimes, like a lot of concept albums are, you need to listen to the entire album to get the full effect of it. So,
I will say, as so the reason the turn signal bothered me is because I listened to this album a lot while driving. And so I think that I somehow turned on my turn signal or did something. Like it's the same as when a song has sirens in it. Like I
yep,
can't do that while I'm driving. I have to skip it.
you
But
think
Not Just Money is really
the popo's
funny
coming after
because
you?
I do. Anyway, the person who's kind of like scolding in that song is actually his best friend's mom. He calls her like Auntie Rosie, all of that. Like giving him like that's like pretty close to a real conversation. Like he just happened to be recording a real conversation of advice and like values and stuff like that, which is really always fun. But I thought it's interesting this song while also listening to Tyler the Creator's new album. He has a song that's very similar. It's Io a D. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Io a D. She plays the person on the chef, the bear. She's
Oh,
the
the
female cook.
Sith. Yeah.
Io a Debris. I'm trying. Um, she plays the role of mother throughout that album. It's Tyler Creator's newer album. It's what is
Chromatopia.
it? Chromatopia. Um and she's also like scolding him about like money and being spoiled and like all of that stuff and like hers is like don't trust any woman, like don't get him pregnant because then I'm gonna have to beat him up, like all of this stuff. But it's a very similar like vibe of like this scolding woman being like the song. Um and it was kind of funny to like know that they were like see them doing something very similar years apart. Um, it doesn't sound anything like it. Like I'm not saying Tyler ripped him off or anything by any means, but it was just funny that both of them have done a whole song that was all about like kind of being scolded by a woman.
Well, so what is next? Best beat bars. So Riley, what's you're the lyric person. What's the best lyric on the album?
Um, one of my favorite lyrics was from Crack Rock, actually, which was a close one to one of my favorite songs, just because I really like the sound of it. I like the sounds, if that makes any sense, the very like rhythmic sounds. But it's a song about battling drug addiction. Obviously, it's called crack rock. Um, and one of them, the opening lyric is, "You don't know how little you matter until you're all alone in the middle of Arkansas with a little rock left in that glass." Bad word. Um, but
Yeah. Got to
um,
keep our
I just think that's
family friendly rating there, Riley. Come on.
um, I think that's just a low point that from 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 what I can tell, and from other songs like it, it's a low point that a lot of people hit in their battle with drug addiction. That kind of feeds them into this positive feedback loop where they feel worthless, so they do drugs, and then they feel worthless, and it's just this loop that they fall into. And I thought that was a really concise way of wording it, of kind of just realizing how alone you are in the world and how that feeling can affect drug use and perception of drugs and all of that that they explore through the rest of the song. Um, very sad lyric this time, but it was hard to find a happy one. But I think that one was just a pretty straightforward, this is the message of the song. Here you go. And so I really liked it.
Yeah, I would say given the nature of a lot of the subject matter of this, it would have been awfully difficult to pull out a I'll put it in quotes, happy lyric.
Yep.
And if you found one, it would probably be taken out of context. So,
Or it would have been said ironically, because that's what a few of the songs were.
yeah, true, true.
Was like an ironic, this is great,
Yeah.
being super rich. And it was meant to be a satire.
Yeah. All right, Kate, we'll go to you. Best. You said you didn't pay attention to lyrics, but if you got
I
lyrics,
have a
that's
lyric. I
great.
found
Okay,
one.
great. So
Yeah.
you can have lyrics, you can have music, you can have, or you
Vibe.
can talk
That's what you
about
said to me
whatever. Yeah,
Vibe.
earlier.
I'm
vibe.
a
You can
vibe
talk.
person.
Yeah, there you go. You can talk about whatever you want to. So
I
go.
had one lyric that I thought was kind of fun. It was ironic, like what Riley said, and I thought it was funny because it still reminded me of my mom because it's something she would so say unironically. But it was in the Sweet Life. The song I thought was like more like upbeat, like fun, summery. It was like "Why See the World When You Got the Beach," and I think that was like an ironic stab of like the wealth they come into and like all that stuff. But it just reminded me of my mom because it's exactly something she would say. But also, I just like that was like one of the one more happy lines I found while looking through some of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ironic.
Yeah.
It was it was calling out people for not wanting to see the tragedies of the world because they have
Hmm.
enough money to ignore it.
Yeah.
But that song is one of those where it sounds very fun.
Like it sound like it blends in,
It's
like
a
you wouldn't really
very,
like the vibe
yeah,
hides it.
Yeah.
I
So
agree. I agree.
before I go and switch away from you, Kate, you talked about vibe of music.
Hmm.
So since this is best time, talk about why I guess maybe you like this one as it pertains to that. Like, what is it about maybe the vibe of this song, or not song, about this album that you like? Does that make
I
sense?
like, yes, that does make sense. So something that I like about the vibe is it's kind of funny. I'm not a big like album person. It's really hard for me to listen straight through an album if like all the songs sound the same or like I kind of like a bit random like variety music. And I really liked the vibe of this album because it's so like it's very different throughout it. So I think it's like something I could. It's one of the few albums I feel like I can listen through pretty much. Again, it tells that story too, so it's like also engaging. But just the vibe of it, just kind of like how it has like the beachy side, but then also the other favorite song with like the Earl Sweatshirt feature. Like it has that rap where I could like go for a run, or I could go work out, or just like I'm doing homework. I listen to other ones that has that variety of like I won't kind of get bored with the same kind of beat from every single song.
Yeah, that's good. So, in fact, another reason why people should go listen to it because it is so different. I go back to, although Riley didn't like it, the Stevie Wonder album was that way, just because
Oh,
it did go a lot of different places. And what you're gonna
listen.
say you didn't like it, like you gave it like
No,
a negative rating.
First of all, I didn't. Second of all, I said that to me, Steve, and again, that's why I keep mentioning Marvin Gaye, is because Stevie Wonder did something very similar to Marvin Gaye. I just thought Marvin Gaye did it better.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I said, Marvin, I said, I think you're either a Wonder person or a gay person. And then I said, I can't say that. Marvin Gaye person. And I'm a Marvin Gaye person. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, the similar thing where it's so different yet the same topic. And yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I get what you're saying, Kate, because there are, especially when it gets to something maybe, and it sounds like you do like maybe not necessarily all R&B, but sounds like you like the album. But for somebody that may not be an R&B fan, it did have a lot of variety and different things to pull from to be able to say, oh, I like this, oh, I like this. So that is neat. Um, so my favorite beat out and Riley, have we done this 2 weeks in a row now? I think so. So my best beat is actually the first 45 seconds of Crack Rock.
that's funny.
And so then when the lyrics kick in, I'm like off in my own little la la land. But it starts with like the calm, easy piano, and pretty simple. I'll put in quotes because I know it's not. And then the more I listened to it, I finally, I guess, noticed the rumble that's going in the background. Like he had recorded an airplane flying overhead and then added it in. So about 20 seconds of that, and then got a snare drum pop, and then the drum line kicks in. And the drum line seems like it's at a faster tempo than what the piano is, and it's almost a juxtaposition of I want the piano to speed up, but there's this tension of that still slow piano with a funky drum beat that's going to it. And it's a nice little difference. So that was my best beat, the opening of that. So
I feel like we
two
also,
weeks in a row that we've picked the
I,
same song.
well, this is inaugural, and I'm breaking the walls. But I also have a favorite beat
Uh-oh.
that that is one of my favorite parts of the albums on this one is the beat. And it's again probably not as simple as I think it is, and I alluded to it earlier. The opening to Super Rich Kids and that beat that follows throughout it, the like boom, boom, the very deep, heavy like beat that you can follow is so like it draws you in immediately. And then how they sometimes when you have such a strong beat, it's really hard to like make your lyrics and make the rap kind of go along with it. Um, Sometimes it's easier, but a lot of times it ends up being harder because it's such a pronounced beat that you can't be off of it. And the way they work with that beat throughout that song is just really good, um, as
Yeah,
well. But
that's
I
what
love
I did just go
that
listen to
intro.
it to remind myself. Yeah, that's a good strong chord that bam, boom,
Oh,
boom.
I love it.
That's
And it
just
draws you
hitting.
in
Yeah,
and it just
that is
stays and
nice.
it's so good. So
All right. So anything else before we get into ratings? Nope. All right. So ratings. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay, go
Um,
first.
I think with everything that we've talked about, so the objective rating for me is probably 9.5 to a 10. It's somewhere in that range.
What do
I
you think? You got to pick one.
I think I'm gonna go with
This isn't a sliding scale show.
I think I'm gonna go with a 10
All
for an
right.
objective rating. I think that we've talked about how much care he put into it. It is a very worked on album and perfected album without sounding overworked either. Um, which is a hard thing to do. Um, but there was so much care and attention to detail that you could spot in each and every song, and then when you blew it out, you could see it in the whole album as it came together. Even just like the starting song having like this video game type feeling, which again goes back to like kind of the Marvin Gaye beginning to his album was like at a party and you heard people talking and just sitting down. Like it feels like that again. And all of the albums that we or songs that we kind of talked about being our least favorite still push the album forward in certain ways. Subjectively, I would say it would be hard to give it like not give it its dues. Objectively, I would say I'd give it about an eight, or an eight,
But
right?
personally,
Yeah, personal rating, I'd give it an eight. Um, Rap is not typically the genre that I go to. R&B is sometimes, but I tend to go for slower, more alt stuff rather than kind of this pop rap R&B style. Um, but he infuses so much of everyone's favorite type of music somehow into this album that it's still such an enjoyable album. Um, Also, I really like songs that flow into one another, and it's hard to tell when one starts and when one ends. And there's a lot of examples of that throughout this album too. It just keeps me interested enough to want to listen to it again. So I give it an eight.
all right. So I'll go and then we'll turn the floor over to Kate for her ratings. So objectively a nine. Much to what you were talking about. It you can see what plays through or and what he's trying to do as he plays through it. Personally, I did a 5.5 just because it's not my kind of music, but as I went through and looked at it, I was like, okay, I like about half of the album. And again, as I was going through, probably a little bit unfair to maybe some of the songs that weren't meant to be standalone songs, and counting them. But overall, it's not necessarily my genre, but I there were still some good parts in it. So, Kate, what do you think about it?
For my objective, I did a 9.5 just because I rarely hear people say they don't like this album. And then I also think like Frank Ocean
Except for
accomplished
old people like me.
except for a few, but I think Frank Ocean like accomplished what he set out to do, just like keeping the production like very clean, layered, and like almost having this like timeless effect. So I think like 9.5, very, very high. And then my personal one, so like Riley said, I do like R&B, rap, and pop, so that's more of my like speed. So I did 9 out of 10. I just think I just love rap, so I love the features he has throughout albums. Like I know there's a Childish Gambino track he released during COVID, he like re-released it, but like a lot of it is more of a like R&B style, and then he brings features into rap, and then like every other would be like a rap. So that's just like more the speed I like a lot. And then I also Riley's my lyric person, so she'll tell me, but I also like how I've never really thought of it as like more of a thoughtful album, but like how she'll be like, oh, like this means this, this means this. Like I like the thought he put in it too. Because a lot of my music goes dude has like no thought. I'm gonna be honest. So this having thought, I had to give it a higher ranking.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's understandable. I think we've all got artists like that where it's like I just want to listen to something that's not going to make me think.
Hmm.
Um,
Not me, not
no,
I.
yeah.
I want the opposite.
That's why you're
I still remember
weird.
certain songs my sophomore year when we roomed together. Like she told one of the like puzzle pieces when I think about I always think about like the true meaning of it and I can't like shake the thought because she tells me lyrics. I'm like, I cannot shake it. I like always remember it. And I'll tell all my other
Yeah.
friends, like, you know what means this?
Yeah.
Yep. Context Puzzle Pieces is a great song by Saint
So
Motel.
good. So
Such a
good.
fun song. We would dance to it in our room that
Hmm.
we shared together sophomore year. That was like one of our first songs of the week. It is actually a song about the overuse of plastic surgery and your face not fitting together like puzzle pieces anymore because you've done too much to it. So we would like dance along to it, and then
Hmm.
the real lyrics are about facial reconstruction.
Interesting.
After I
So
heard that, I can't like unsee it now. Like all I can see is like, oh, like plastic surgery stuff. But
I'm so nice to my friends and let them enjoy their music. I'm so good.
Yeah. The Nice, very good. Except for that song. Songs of the week. So we will do should we give Kate the honor to go first since I guess the segment was inspired by you? Or do you want to
Yes.
I
or
have mine. I have mine.
do you want to go last?
I can go first this
All
time.
right, let's go
I can go
first.
first. Okay. So I always have a bazillion songs of the week, and Riley knows because I listen to them to her almost every week. And they're not always amazing, but I chose an amazing one this time for the podcast. And I had to go through a bunch. I went through like my top a bunch. I decided on Cross the Street by Junior Varsity. It's a very poppy song, but I think like a lot of different I think almost anyone can like it. It's very poppy, very like go go go. I think it's a very I just love it. The vibes are great on the song. So that's my song of the week.
Good vibes. Do you have you said some of them are awful that you are self-admitting they are awful songs?
Yes, I
So
self-admit my
so what's a awful song of the week as well? Just so
oh my
people can
goodness.
get the so
Do
we'll
your
come
most played song of the year.
Most
we'll
played
That
song of the
oh
year. That was
I know
a
what
wait,
it
I have
is.
to grab my phone because I need to pull up my SoundCloud. I have like unreleased stuff. My phone's
Yeah,
missing
so
too.
whenever I made a joke last week about her sending me like the worst songs known to man, she sends me unreleased SoundCloud, like
Yeah, I
person
get
who
my
has
stuff in
one follower
SoundCloud.
on SoundCloud. And I'm like, Kate, how did you find this? And what is this? It's
we
like
got one
someone like
follower on SoundCloud and is the one follower not even the person that uploaded it? Like that's when you
It's
know it's
probably a
no.
bad.
bot. It's
That's when
probably
you know it's bad is when the guy or
yes.
gal that uploads it doesn't even follow their own stuff, and then here comes Kate.
Follow.
Follow.
I know SoundCloud. I find this music though. SoundCloud has a feature. It's like almost like a TikTok feed where you swipe through songs and you
Okay.
can like add or like and I'll get like really niche. It like ends up like I go through it so much like when I'm just doing like homework or running because it's like just I don't always listen to like the full song, just like clips and stuff. So it's kind of a nice feature they have where you can like kind of I actually really like it. Like being able to find new music. It's not always the best music, but I'll find one. Okay. We'll see. My number one, I was playing this for Riley today. This is my number one on SoundCloud and on Apple. Chills by H2O. And it's kind of like a whisper rap, but it's a cut of I'm not sure exactly what other song, but it like loops, I think, 3 times throughout the whole song. But it's like a very like, I like the vibes of it.
Yeah,
There you
she was
go.
like, it's a loop of the same like three lyrics just over
Yeah,
and over,
over and over.
um, of someone just whispering them. And it
Yeah, it's like a
kills
whisper
me.
rap beat. The I think you would like the beat. The beat's actually pretty good, I
The
feel
beat
like.
is good.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
So now
it's like
we gotta go hunt this song down.
I think it's on
it's like
Apple Music now. So I think it should be easier to find. It's probably on Spotify too.
it's an okay song, but just the fact that it's her most played song of the year, like Kate, you worded it perfectly. She was like, I would love to see, like, I wish they showed me, because I'm probably the only person in the world
Only
that has this as my most
this is
played song of the year.
yes. I wish I could reach out to this like I don't know if it's just a person in their basement who
Yeah.
remixed it or if this is a real band or I just want to reach out and be like, am I the number one listened to? Like I'm curious, but I'm just gonna assume I am.
So whoever H2O is like,
Always. Yeah.
this Kate person is paying my rent from
Yes,
listening and me getting the probably minuscule royalty checks, but she listens
Hmm.
to it so much, she's paying the rent.
she is.
Oh, that's nice. All right. Riley, what do you got?
Um, well, in a similar vein, following that, I thought in honor of Wrapped coming out, I would go with my most listened to song of the year. Um, I didn't tell you that I was doing this, so you don't have to do this. My B, I should have told you. My most listened to song of the year was Northern Attitude featuring Hozier by Noah Kahan. Um, Big Noah Kahan fan. No, that's pretty basic of me. Yeah, I like to hike. You can kind of assume any stereotype of a Noah Kahan fan and put that on me, and it probably fits at some point in my life. Um, I love Noah Kahan. I also love Hozier. Um, and that song and them together, it just works really well. I like the lyrics. It's just it's kind of a funny play on words as well with it being Northern attitude. I don't know. I think it's really funny as a Southern person who's dating someone who is from the North. It's like, okay, I know what the Northern attitude is now because I experienced the Northern attitude. Um, but I just really liked it. Apparently, I listened to it more than any other song this year. So there we go,
Very good. Yeah, my top song was Animal by Pearl Jam.
which is a good song.
So that's not my song of the week, but that's what mine was. That
Surprise to no one.
yeah, that and
Only that it's not black.
uh true. But black is a little bit slower. So it's to Kate's word of the show, that's a different vibe than what Animal is.
There you go.
And speaking of different vibes, my second one was Fix You by Coldplay. So those are kind of two different directions. But anyway,
Hey,
um,
I think I need to ask, are you doing okay?
yeah,
Because that's your second favorite. If that's your second listen to song, I mean, you need to talk. You good?
yeah, my and Ryan and I kind of talked about this. This podcast is really messing with our Wrapped and listening
Ugh.
statistics because like I pulled it up because I couldn't remember what it was. Number three for mine was Straight. I guess it's Straight No Chaser by Miles Davis. Number four was Hotel California, and number five was Crown of Love by Arcade Fire. So I am all over the
Yeah, yeah,
place.
yeah. Which I will say,
Emotionally,
y'all.
I'm all over the place. Musically, like, there is nothing wrong with me. It's just sometimes
You
the
just
vibe hits and you're like, man, this
Mhm.
song is just hitting hard for whatever reason. And then something else comes along and you're like, all right, I'm off of that one and on to the next one. So
Miles
there we
Davis, y'all
are.
listen to around the house too.
Yeah,
So that one
that
makes
that
sense.
switch. That's why Mama Pod has got like umpteen million minutes, it seems like. She's never been a high listener, and Riley's usually our top listener in minutes. How many minutes did you have? Like
Like
29,000 some odd minutes.
something.
Um,
Let me check.
Mama had like 33,000 minutes worth of music because it hits her every morning at 7. We get jazz to start coming through the house, and it happens to hit her account. So she's
Yeah,
got
20.
like all her favorite artists are jazz, all her favorite top songs are jazz, like everything in her Wrapped was jazz.
That's
Bless,
funny.
bless her heart. Usually,
So
usually hers, yeah, she listed at 31,000. Her top genre is
31,000. There you
cool
go.
jazz,
Cool jazz.
and
There
it's
we go.
Miles Davis and John Coltrane.
Coltrane. Yep.
And then
So
immediately after, it's like these indie Christian artists, and it
yeah.
cracks me up. But it's better than usually what it is, which really gets me. Is usually like Pearl Jam and grunge is in there mixed
Yep.
in with these indie Christian artists, and I'm like, woman, what is going on?
That's because she when she walks to my playlist. So anyway, so my song of the
Couple
week
goals.
is none of that. But my song of the week is Black Crowes' My Morning Song. So it's from 1992, bluesy Southern rock, heavy guitar. It's got a loud kind of intro that is nice, nice little guitar solo, and then it's got a fairly long bridge of a song. And then it's got a like low build up back to when the main guitar pops in. But I've always loved that song. It's not one of their more popular ones. For Black Crowes, most people think Hard to Handle, She Talks to Angels, but I really like this song. It's off their second album. So My Morning Song by the Black Crowes. So that's our song of the week's songs. Easy for me to say, songs of the week. And so now normally we would say next album, but wah wah
Yeah,
wah.
so um as we
We'll
are
let
so
Riley
appreciative.
deliver the bad news.
Yeah, we are so appreciative of everyone here, and the support that we've gotten throughout this past well, less than a year for us, but it's coming to the end of the year, of support and listeners and all of that. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break from the regular album per week, just to spend some time off with Christmas and family and all of that. I'll also be home, so spending time in person rather than through a screen, and all of that. We may release some things here and there. Maybe we'll recap our Spotify Wrapped or talk about some holiday songs here and there. Um, but nothing scheduled the way it normally has been. But we'll come back after this break, and with our next album, we'll probably post the album somewhere on Instagram or something once we're listening to it again, so you
Yep.
can listen along with us.
And we'll
But
definitely
yeah, so we're gonna.
we'll definitely put it in the feed too, so that people can know when we're starting to come back and what album, if you like to listen along with us. And then so that was cool. Um, and we may put some other things in there. We still have to get back to our um poster that we keep talking about. So
Yes, yes.
maybe we'll do that while we are away as well. Then the other thing that I wanted to say, and didn't want to forget, but we actually had a because we don't get them that much, other than Kate, who was our first ever commenter on our like maybe first episode. But we had somebody comment and talk about band Rise Against, and so yep, we'll definitely give that one a listen to as well. And maybe it'll make it into a song of the week at some point. But
Never know. Who
this
knows?
is, I guess, officially ending season one in podcasting world. So it's been fun. We've learned lots of things, and
How to edit out the 2 minute long pauses of thinking.
yep, we
If you want the
and
uncut, go watch the video
yeah,
and
go
see
watch the
how long it
video,
takes us
and
to
yeah,
think.
sometimes when we start to think. So, that being said, again, as Riley said, thanks everybody. It's been fun getting to figure out how some of this stuff works and talking with music or talking about music with various people. Kate, loved having you
Yes.
on. Thanks so much.
Thanks for
We'll
having
have
me.
to do it again. So as Riley, we find whenever the albums kickstart again, um, make sure if there's one on there that would fit with Kate's vibe,
Mhm.
then we need to invite Kate back. So,
Yes. Yes.
but I guess until next time, I'm Todd
I'm Riley.
I'm Kate.
and Kate.
And this
Sorry.
has been another episode of Barber Cuts.